What's up, everybody? Thanks as always for supporting the show. It would mean a lot to me if you would take a second to scroll down and hit that subscribe button to the Hoops Tonight YouTube channel, and then follow me on social media on TikTok, Instagram, and Twitter so you guys don't miss any of our content over the course of this season. All right, let's talk some basketball. Hey, Jason, do you think the Warriors bench will still be as great if they trade Chris Paul? I think CP has to stay because he is organizing the bench offense perfectly. And if he gets traded, I think the plus minus in the non-Steph minutes will decrease drastically. My question is, who would you rather trade next to Kuminga instead of CP? Is Moody enough, or would you put someone else in that trade for Siakam? Love the show, by the way, best basketball show pod right now. Just keep going. Thank you for the kind words and for the support. Here's the thing with Chris Paul. It's about his salary slot. It's just really difficult to reach that number without including him. I do think that there will be some loss of organization and potential consistency in bench groups as a result. That said, it's far more important for your starting lineup to have more firepower. And the main reason why is when push comes to shove in the playoffs anyway, you're playing all those guys 30, 38, 39, maybe even in the low 40s for minutes, at least your best guys. You need to have 5 guys that you're willing to go to war with Denver with for 7 games over the course of 2 weeks, right? That said, I don't think it'll be that big of an issue for the bench because of the emergence of pods. Brandon Podziemski, him being a hit as a draft pick undoes a lot of the damage from the James Wiseman trade. He's just flat out really, really good. And as a result, there's a lot of guys who need touches between Steph Curry, Klay Thompson, Andrew Wiggins, Brandon Podziemski, whoever comes back in that theoretical Chris Paul, Jonathan Kuminga deal. I don't think it's going to be an issue of ball handling. I think there will be less consistency just because they'll be young, and Chris Paul is one of the most consistent, decision makers that we have in the game. But I think it'd be worth it to have that upgrade in terms of what the starting lineup is capable of. And again, I see Moody as an example here. You try to make a deal without Jonathan Kuminga, but the reality is I just think this is going to be a seller's market this year. I think there are a lot of teams that are going to be looking to make a deal to upgrade and improve their chances at winning a championship. I think Golden State is likely to make a trade. I think the Lakers are likely to make a trade. I think Minnesota could make a trade. I think teams like Indiana and Oklahoma City might make a trade. Sacramento, in terms of trying to upgrade their 4 spot, they look like a team who could be making a trade. Milwaukee looks like a team that's going to make a trade. Miami and Philly look like teams that are going to make trades, and most of them are going to be hunting the big fish. Sacramento, Indy, Oklahoma City, I think they're all going to be going after the forwards, right? Miami and in Philadelphia, I think they're going to be looking for some sort of additional star-level shot creator. I think the Warriors are looking for that type of forward. I think the Lakers could be involved in conversations like that, although I think they'll primarily be targeting role players. But the point is it's going to be a bidding war in a lot of these cases. And the bottom line is there is no asset that the Warriors have that is valued as much as Jonathan Kuminga is around the league. And so that's where it puts you into these tough decisions. You could keep Jonathan Kuminga and you could get outbid. And then you could be a good team this year that's not really capable of winning the championship. And with each passing year, Steph will age and Jonathan Kuminga will be better, but at this point, he doesn't project to be a super duper star. He might, it's not off the table, but it's at this point somewhat of a long shot, right? And so it's one of those things where, to me, everybody has different philosophies, right? Certain franchises are okay with being really good for a long time, right? But the Warriors aren't one of those franchises. The Warriors, they're trying to hang banners. They're a 4-time NBA champion. Everybody who runs this franchise has a big ego for good reason because they're good at what they do. I don't think mediocrity is the goal here for the Warriors. And so, in my opinion, you either lean all in with Steph to try to win the damn Larry O'Brien trophy, or you punt on this era, you do a complete pivot rebuild, and in that case, you're not looking to trade Jonathan Kuminga. Maybe you convince Steph to stay on board, but for the record, as good as that would be for the community, as important as he is to the franchise, I'm not sure Steph would be interested in some sort of soft rebuild, and most importantly, he's a guy that you could trade and bring back just a shit ton of assets to help spark that rebuild. And so to me, given the type of franchise that the Warriors are, it's kind of a crossroads here. And I think we'll see what happens until when we get to the deadline. But when they get to the deadline, they're going to have a decision to make on that front.